Good afternoon, and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching and just the overall matchup for today. Game 5 of the NLDS series. Win an advance, lose, and go home game between division rivals in the Cubs and Brewers. Very interesting setup. Vastly different than what we had last night when talking about the AL spot with Seattle and Detroit. That game we had two aces going, and it was just a matter of how long they were going to go in the game before they turned it over to some strong bullpen arms. Tonight we're getting openers from both teams and probably 3 innings from long relief / starters, and then we're just going to see a parade of relief pitchers at some point. So that makes this game a little tougher to figure out. Yesterday, a lot easier. We just played both pitchers, multiple relievers in a showdown lineup, and then picked our bats. Polanco, Gary Carpenter. Unfortunately, J.P. Crawford wasn't the greatest. Javi Baez was fine. A couple of those guys were main plays in my notes on the site because they help fit what we were trying to do. We expected a pitcher's duel, and we got 15 innings worth of it. So I just don't see that happening tonight. Now, the pitchers can perform. Like Mizorowski obviously has a gigantic ceiling. I think Imanaga has access to a higher pitch count as a long reliever, but he's not exciting. Gives up a ton of home runs, etc. Mizorowski, ton of strikeouts, but a ton of walks. So we'll start with the Cubs side for pitching. Imanaga, projected to be the long man, was really bad against the Brewers, 5 days ago. Really struggled. 2 more home runs allowed. Multiple home runs allowed in 6 out of his last 8 appearances. Just 1 fantasy point in that. He had some solid performances against the Brewers before. 3 of them. He's been able to pick up strikeouts. The home runs are always going to be an issue for a fly ball guy like him. But 19 fantasy points in this one, going 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits. Pretty strong performance. 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. Still gave up 2 home runs, but still put up 22. So, the upside's there for him. I just don't really love it, to be honest. He obviously could show up a lot like Boyd did in Game 4. But I feel like he's probably a very volatile spot. He's going to just allow base runners. He looked decent against San Diego, but then he gave up a 2-run home run in that 4th inning or so. But the strikeouts just haven't been there. He had that random 9 against Tampa Bay, but if you remember, we just love left-handed pitching against Tampa Bay. Aside from that, though, it's 3-3-4, 4-2, 5-5. Strikeouts just haven't been there. Pitch count really isn't there. I think he has access to more, but will he truly get there in the spot? I don't think he will get access to a ceiling pitch count game. So it does make it really tough to trust Shota. I really think he's just a sprinkle in the utility type of guy. It's not somebody I'm looking to have in a captain in this spot. From a relief standpoint, obviously we get an opener in Drew Pomeranz. In a showdown scenario, I think Pomeranz is definitely viable. He's actually been really good in the series. Issue is he's pitched in 3 of the 4 games so far. The more people that see him, the less likely he is to really show up. With that said, 4 points, 10 points, 6 points. This one got the win, so he doesn't have access to that as an opener here. But a couple strikeouts in the first wouldn't shock me, but also a couple hits allowed wouldn't shock me either. It's a real volatile spot, and I think there's a little bit more offense in this one. So I'm not necessarily convinced that we need to absolutely jam in Drew Pomeranz because he's pitching. He makes sense because, if we're going to use relief pitchers, he's the one that we're guaranteed to see. I'm pretty confident unless the Brewers are absolutely blowing out the Cubs. We're probably going to end up seeing Brad Keller. He's pitched in 2 out of the 4 so far. He's technically, I think, their closer, but they don't really have one. Palencia, the former closer, I think we end up seeing him for sure. but he has pitched in 3 out of the 4 so far. Had one rough one, bounced back in each of the last 2. His strikeouts haven't been there. It's a guy that can throw 100, 101, but if he's not picking up strikeouts, like, I don't want to use, like, I get it's a 4K guy, right? Like, it's a salary savings, but I don't want to use it on a relief pitcher that's going to come in and get me 2 points because he's not striking anybody out. He does have the upside to strike out numerous, striking out the side, etc. But he does only have 1 double-digit fantasy point performance on the season, I think. Maybe 2. 2 here because he picked up the win. That's the thing, is he obviously could be in play to pick up the win. Another thing I didn't touch on with Imanaga, by him not starting, that actually gives him more access to win points since Pomeranz is not eligible. So if Imanaga is the one that follows him and the Cubs have a lead already and they hold on to win, like, Imanaga would be in line for the W. So that's one bonus for him being a long man following an opener. But, the bonuses are generally few and far between, for guys like Imanaga. Man, other relievers just aren't super intriguing for me from the Cubs. Like, Kittredge was their main, 8th inning guy. And then all of a sudden he opened one game and gave up runs right away. And then gave up a home run last time out. He just hasn't been super sharp recently. He finished the season out extremely strong, right? Like, just racking up strikeouts here. That hasn't been there. I do think he's going to see the mound tonight. So he's probably viable to use. It's just not somebody that I'm quickly jamming in. Caleb Thielbar probably sees the mound as a lefty. Not a huge K guy. Just not a ton of upside. Like, that's the one thing with guys like Matt Brash last night. I wanted to use guys that had a ton of K upside that had, like, if they go, an inning and third and strike out 3 or 4, where they reach double digits. I just don't see a reliever for the Cubs with that ability, unless they magically pick up the W. And I don't think we can guarantee that's going to happen. One guy that could be utilized, Savali. He looked good in this appearance here. It's more of a mop-up scenario, but he still looked good. So if Imanaga comes in right away and struggles, like maybe Savali ends up being the long man, they do have Colin Ray, who can pick up a few innings. Problem is these guys are priced to where we need them to pitch multiple innings. Ben Brown, not going to be used as a starter, but he did pitch in the series 2 innings and looked solid. But we're giving up so much by looking to use guys like that. Guys like Soroka. It makes it tougher. So, really for me, for the Cubs, it's sprinkling in some Imanaga, playing some Pomeranz because he's guaranteed to see the mound. Maybe a little bit Palencia, maybe Brad Keller. But I don't really want to go much. I mean, probably have to sprinkle in a Kittredge. If he finds it, he's definitely somebody on this Cubs team that can strike out the side in an inning or strike out 4 over an inning and a third if they need him. But I just don't see a ton of value or upside in some of the other potential long man / starter types. So for me, it's not getting too creative there. On the Brewers side, opening with Tyler McGill, weird spot. Was the closer for a lot of the season, got hurt, and then he's not in the closer's role now. Has plenty of K upside, hasn't really shown it, in the series. He's fine. Again, loses the chance at a W coming in relief, but if he's pumped up, he's one of those guys that could come in and strike out the side in the first, or strike out 2 out of 3, and provide a little bit of upside. But he kind of needs access to the W to reach double digits, and since he can't do that in this role, it's really tough. But just like with Pomeranz, he's guaranteed to see the mound. So if you are forcing in 4K relievers, those 2 are guys you're just going to have to live with a little bit. Mizorowski on the other side, ton of K upside. We know about it. Ton of volatility with walks. Hasn't been super dominant against Cubs. I mean, he's not allowing base or hits. He's just walks, mistakes. Strikeouts are there. Average against just 132, but he's still giving up runs. It's going to be electric. It's just a matter of if he can keep himself in check enough to throw enough strikes. He's going to be my highest owned pitcher in this game, just because the ceiling is so strong. As far as other starting-ish pitcher, like Quinn Priester, if Mizorowski comes in the second inning or whatever, struggles, Priester could be used as a long man, but he looked terrible against the Cubs in the series. But, he's Milwaukee's second best starting pitcher right now, so, I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. Chad Patrick, certainly viable out of the bullpen. He's just so expensive, and I don't think he's going to do much more than an inning. Like, he did an inning 2/3 here, but he's thrown 3 times in this series already, and I don't think they want to, push him that far. From a regular relief standpoint, Uribe is their closer, so if you think the Cubs do win, like, he's almost all but guaranteed to see the mound. Similar to last night when I said Munoz and Vest were definitely going to pitch as long as the game was close. Either way, I think Uribe is for sure going to see the mound unless, one team is blowing out the other. And even then, I think it would have to be the Cubs blowing out the Brewers. Because I think even if the Brewers are up by like 6 or 7, they probably just turn it to Uribe and try to lock it down no matter what. Big time K upside. He's been lights out for a while. Hasn't allowed an earned run since the 1st of September. And then before that was prior to July 18th. So 2 earned runs allowed in the last just under 3 months. That's a ridiculous run for Uribe. Ton of K upside. Probably going to be the most popular non-opener relief pitcher in this game, and I understand it because the upside is just so strong. Ashby being priced down as a regular reliever is very interesting. He did throw an inning in the 3rd last game. I think he's probably still available, but maybe he won't be. That's a tough one to get to. He does allow us multi-inning upside, and then he would have access to a W coming in as well. Hasn't been a huge K guy yet, but he makes a lot of sense in that the Cubs have plenty of left-handed bats. So, I could sneak in a little bit of Ashby. Nick Mears could be used. I just don't really like it. He has pitched 3 times in this series. He's fine. I'm just not intrigued at all. They keep going to Koenig. He's super volatile, right? Like, he picked up 5 in this one. Really strong. And then last time out, not the greatest, 2 hits. His volatility's there, but if you cut out this series, he hadn't allowed a run since the middle of August. Or towards the end of August, I should say. So, and he's somebody that I'm pretty sure sees the mound, especially being left-handed. Cubs have plenty of left-handed bats. So to me, he makes a lot of sense. I think Uribe is the number 1 guy. I actually might like Uribe more than McGill, to be honest. Even though McGill is guaranteed to see the game as the opener. It's Mizorowski for me. From a bat standpoint in this matchup, you just go with the guys that have got him there. The Brewers, go with some of the guys that kill left-handed pitchers because you're going to get Pomerantz into Imanaga. So that combination. And then for the Cubs, Michael Busch, Ian Happ. Busch and Tucker probably seem like the smartest plays. Busch has just been showing off power. Tucker looks like he's figuring things out again. And I think Happ just steps up a little bit, so he makes a ton of sense for me. But there we have it. There's our first look at pitching. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off monthly. And I will drop a link to our merch store. You can check out our designs, my hoodie design, and some of the other stuff we do have below. And as always, best of luck, everybody.